It's the one and only original GC3, and I'm always in the place to be. I'm here at the facility here in Phoenix, Arizona, at the West Coast Elite Battle in the Desert event. I got another episode, another snippet, episode number 4, and that's the West Coast Elite Hoopers Only GC3 Weekend Special Edition. I got my guy, Coach Doug Kim. How you doing, Coach?
Good. How you doing?
Oh, I'm great. I'm just excited to be here. It's a lot of fun to see this event, be a part of it. All the talent under one roof. Uh, like I was saying earlier, it's quality over quantity. I mean, it's you can see the prospects. They're right there. It's not too big of an arena where kids and teams can get lost. There's a lot of exposure going on.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the beauty of this particular facility and this event is that the college coaches can go from one to two games right away without having to travel far. It's easy to see them. The kids get a lot of exposure. I think we do a pretty good job here at West Coast Elite so that we kind of cater to the coaches and so that the kids get the maximum time in front of the coaches. That's really important, especially as you get older and the kids are a little further along in the game, juniors rising to be seniors and unsigned seniors. They need that exposure. They need that time in front of the coach. Coaches, it's great to send film, but to get a real good eyeball look at them face to face is really important.
No, thank you for sharing. And coach, so let's talk about your journey. So, my viewers and everybody else can kind of get to know, a little bit about your background and your history around the game.
Yeah, I actually started. I played high school basketball, obviously, and then I started coaching. And it took me a while to get into coaching. To be quite honest with you, a little bit it was an uphill battle for me. I don't look like a typical high school coach or a coach. I'm not super tall. I'm only 5'9", 5'10". So I had to kind of prove myself, and I had to kind of prove my mettle. I had to do a lot of hard work. I had to take some jobs that maybe were harder, and we had to build programs. And so that's actually part of the journey. Young coaches always have to kind of earn their right to be and build yourself up, and then as you get better known and or more well known, you actually can move that way. And I'm actually very fortunate that Ryan Silver and the folks at West Coast Elite actually sought me out, and I had some pretty good training from other people that were mentored me as a younger coach, and now as an older coach, I can return that favor and mentor some younger coaches on that journey. And it's really about perseverance. You get turned down a lot. You get told no when you're a young coach, or you have to start as an assistant. And whether you might think you may know more, or you want to be a head coach right away and have your own program, it doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes you just have to pay your dues. And so my journey was certainly that. I was very fortunate to walk into two positions early in my career where I was able to build programs, and we had quite a bit of success. And now certainly I coach at a high school and I coach at a junior college where we are able to have some success, and West Coast Elite has really helped us with that as well.
Okay. Well, no, coach, again, thank you for sharing your journey. Super exciting. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty, which is fine. But again, thank you for making the adjustment. And I can attest to the perseverance. Being, myself as well. I was the young coach at one point, trying to just to gain an opportunity it just, my playing days kind of it tied into, you learn those life skills from basketball, whether it's just being a player or coaching. And, there's times where I missed baskets or I didn't make the team. And, I learned that as a player. Now moving to the space of coaching and into adulthood, I'm told no a lot of the times, but it's just those life skills you learn with this game of basketball to keep pushing through, keep moving forward, keep putting in the work.
Yeah, I think that's a really valuable lesson. Basketball, the game itself is a beautiful game. It's one of the few games in the world where you and a ball and a hoop can actually have it and go work out and really get better. The basketball is about imagination. Really, if you can be creative with the ball, you look at all the players that play in the pros and even some of the great college players, they're creative with the ball. They have imagination. Well, that doesn't start from, all of a sudden like, oh, it just comes to them. They watch somebody do something, then they try and say, oh, I can make an adjustment here. And the same thing is true in coaching. coaching, you see a diagram or a play and say, oh, this would be a better adjustment. All right, this is how I use my personnel better. Or, hey, I can maximize this player's ability. And that's really what coaching is. I actually, as a player, and I agree with you so much that my time as a player helps me to be a better coach. Because for me, basketball wasn't always easy. I had to work really hard to get my skills up, not being a taller player, maybe not being the greatest shooter in the world. So you had to work harder at it. And that perseverance to overcome that adversity, to work hard, to drive, to get to a goal is really a life lesson. It applies to all parts of your life, whether that be, in school or relationships. You have to work at it. You have to work with others, and you have to be able to make adjustments on the fly and not get down when you get told no, and to just say, hey, no is not an option for me. I'll find a different path. And certainly there are other coaches around the country that certainly did that as well. And you look at some of the most successful coaches in college, they didn't go straight from like player to college coach. They had to start as assistant or went to a JC or started a smaller program and then took over a bigger program. And I think that's an important lesson to learn. You just have to stick with it.
Coach, again, I just want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know like here at this event, it's so busy. It's well ran, well organized. You and your staff are doing a fantastic job making sure that everything is running smoothly, from making sure college coaches are taken care of to the players, the AAU team, the club teams, as well as even the media. I mean, you guys have been so helpful and accommodating for me to get this set up, the studio set up, and we're just moving along really good. It's a very successful event thus far.
Yeah, I think first, thank you for being here. We're honored to have you here. This is great for us. It's great for the kids. It's great for college coaches. Again, the venue lends itself to being very, open and helpful to be able to facilitate the needs of the coaches and the media like yourself. And we really appreciate you being here. We think it's a great event. We have quality players top to bottom. There really isn't even the sometimes you look at some tournaments and you have some teams that maybe aren't at the same level, but everybody's competing. And I think that's really important. But we do have some fantastic teams and some fantastic players here, and we're lucky to have that draw.
No, thank you so much, Coach. So, hey, we're going to get back. I got more episodes to record, but again, thank you so much, Coach, for your time. And I look forward to, spending the rest of my weekend here with you and your staff. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks, GC3. I appreciate it.